Hello there. Welcome back to my channel, Soul Health with Nurse Blue. So, for the next few minutes, I'm about to live up to my name. So, for those of you who might be tuning in for the very first time, hello, sweetheart, welcome. And what I mean by living up to my name, this is what I mean. It means I'm about to B, build you, L, love you, U, unite us, E, empower you about my favorite subject. Hopefully, by the end of this, it is yours. And that subject is soul health. So, if you are currently looking for ways, natural ways that you can either reverse a health condition or prevent a health condition, because we're all about preventing here. No one has time to be sick, especially right now. I would love for you to do two things. Number one, I want you to hit the subscribe button because I'm your nurse to help you do that. And also, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. And now I want to jump into this topic about what is soul health, because oftentimes when I'm out and about and I'm meeting people and they find out I'm a nurse, and the next question is always going to be, oh, well, what area of nursing do you specialize in, right? Are you a pediatric nurse? Do you work in a hospital? And so oftentimes I say, no, I specialize in soul health. And they're like, well, what is soul health? And so many of you are probably asking the same thing. What is soul health? So you need to know it, because soul health is the solution that you're looking for in order for you to stay healthy. Okay. Now, I love teaching you about soul health because, quite frankly, we weren't taught this in nursing school. Doctors weren't taught this in medical school, but it is absolutely so important, because in soul health, if your soul has dis-ease, chances are, if you haven't already been diagnosed, if you don't take care of the soul, then the soul takes care of the body. So if whatever is dis-ease in the soul will manifest as disease in the body. That's why I always say soul health is the solution. Now, really, what soul health is about, it's your agreement with yourself to love yourself on a radical level. I call it radical self love. That means that you are gone beyond self care and you're going inside and deciding to love yourself at a level where you're going to be responsible for your thoughts. You're going to be responsible for your emotions. You're going to take responsibility over your actions, and you want to align those three where they're all going in the same direction up, meaning you want positive thoughts, because positive thoughts create positive beliefs, right? You want positive emotions, meaning you want fear to get out of your life. You have decided that you want to divorce yourself from fear, right? Because fear is your number one enemy for your soul. And I know this because I lived with fear for so many years of my life, and it resulted in dis-ease in the soul and disease in the body. And it was through soul health that I was able to reverse a chronic disease, an autoimmune deficiency. It was through soul health that I was able to lose over 35 pounds, because I was living in a state of dis-ease. And when you live in a state of dis-ease, your hormones, that number one hormone that becomes a problem for you in that state, is called cortisol. And cortisol, once it elevates, baby, she's about to take over your body and create some problems, right? But when you learn how to master soul health, then you keep everything balanced, right? So today, what I want to give you is some advice, some helpful tips, a framework that I actually created that I am so proud to introduce you to today to help you learn how to take care of yourself. So I call this the 101 of soul health, okay? All right, so now that you know that aligning your soul is the most important thing you must do with your health, and that is a job between you and you deciding to become the best version of yourself, because you are going to do this because you don't want to be sick. No one has time to be sick, okay? It is too expensive on so many levels to be sick these days, particularly here in the United States, guys, because here in the United States, the hospital, some reports say, is the third to fifth leading cause of death. That's a problem. So what I really want to encourage you to do is take care of yourself. And if you have children, teach your children how to take care of themselves at a soul level. And that is why Nurse Blue is in your life. Okay. All right. So now that we understand what soul health is, I'm going to my notes right now because I want to break down the 101 soul health. Okay. So let me introduce you to this 5-part framework that I created so you can learn how to radically self love yourself. I mean, I want you to fall in love with self love. Okay. All right. It's called the belly. It's called the belly system. And you actually can find this belly system in my book, Freedom is a Frequency. I highly suggest you grab your copy from Amazon. Okay. All right. Because I certainly, it's a joy journal and it is all outlined in that book, but I want to share it with you today. Okay. So the 5-part system, the belly system, I love acronyms. Let's start with B. Okay. So what you want to do, and I know you guys have heard this over and over and over and over again. Good health is about you learning how to stay in a state of balance, particularly on the soul. Okay. So, what does that look like? That means you want to live in a positive state most of the time. Okay. If not all of the time. Okay. That means that you want to make sure that your thoughts are as positive as possible, your beliefs, okay, your belief system. You're looking at the glass as half full rather than half empty. And I know that's pretty hard to do these days because there's so much happening in the world. I don't care what's happening in the world. Your job is to help take care of your soul, okay? Also, your emotions, stay in balance. That means you want peace as much as possible. And it might be a little hard for you to find peace, especially again with all of these things happening in the world. Because guess what robs you of your peace? Our number one enemy to our soul, it's fear, right? Fear is our number one enemy, but fear cannot have authority over your soul because fear will create that chronic stress and it's going to take your health down, okay? And then also, we have to make sure we balance our habits. So, if we have good thoughts, but great beliefs, we have emotions that are keeping us lifted with, and we have peace and we have joy in our life, then we have habits to support that, then honey, you are living your best life. So we want to make sure we do that. All right. Now, let's go to the next letter, E. Eliminate the source of the problem that is creating dis-ease in the soul. Well, I can tell you what that is. It's really one thing. It's always one thing. It's fear. Okay. So my acronym for fear is learning how to face everything and rise. Okay. On the other side of that fear, whatever you're going through is another version of you. But we have to learn how to be okay with facing it and going through it. Right now, I'm talking to you from a person who has experienced fear and fear literally had taken over my life most of my life. Okay. So I've had to learn how to overcome fear. Fear resulted in an autoimmune deficiency. Fear resulted in the breakdown of relationships. Fear held me back for many years, living in a state of anxiety. So I know what you're going through. This is why soul health was my solution. Okay. So once you learn how to identify the fear, because honey, fear is like a big snake, but it's not just one snake. It's like a species of snakes, right? So you know how like there's different kind of snakes, like the rattlesnake or the cobra, the anaconda, or the garden snake. Well, we don't care about the garden snake because the garden snake doesn't have venom. But those other ones I'm talking about, they're pretty dangerous. Fear can be dangerous as well. So you might need help with identifying what that fear is, and it might be multiple fears because fear, there's 8 levels of fear. And the reason why so many people live with fear, because I mean, quite frankly, you don't hear a lot about how these fears can be compounded fears. You might be suffering from something that a lot of people are suffering from right now, particularly here in the United States. Now, I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world in terms of where the state of fear is, but it's really high right now. And you might be suffering from this, what I refer to as toxic insecurity, where you're constantly worrying about the future and you haven't even got past the past fears. And then you have people all around you that's projecting their fears on you, and you're doing your best to cope. But your coping mechanisms might be, numbing yourself with, with some type of addiction. Okay, so whether that's coping with, drinking, or coping with taking pills, or coping with, projecting it on others. These are things that a lot of us enter into, not even realizing. Sometimes it's unconscious, but we're trying to find ease within the body because we don't know about how to create ease in the soul. Okay, all right. So now let's go on to the L. All right, we dealt with the B, the E. Here's the L. We have to learn something new. We have to go outside of this box. Soul health is going out of the box. And you might, at the end of the day, you have to realize that much of the things that we've been taught about how to manage our stress, maybe you have to take a look and see if those things even apply to the world we're living in today. So this is really about you learning how to become truly the best version of yourself. And so learning something new is something we have to all get used to. Okay. Here's the other thing. We have to learn to listen to our bodies. I know so many people, even, my own family members. I'm sure you can identify with this. Your family members, you ask them, how you doing today? And we're just so used to say, oh, I'm doing okay. Oh, I'm doing fine. But really, you might not be doing okay. You might not be doing fine. And if you're feeling pain in your body, you're feeling dis-ease, that's not something for you to ignore. We have to learn how to become honest with ourselves through soul health. It is learning how to take responsibility for what we're feeling, and not, ignoring it to a point where it becomes something that we later suffer from because we didn't do anything about it, when it was just, our bodies were trying to talk to us. Okay. And then why we have to say yes to our life, because fear is always trying to, quite frankly, it's like trying to put your soul in a state of dis-ease is like putting your soul in a prison. So, with you saying yes to life and owning your soul's health, then you are saying, you know what? I have decided that I want to live, and that I am not about to be in bondage to fear. I am not allowed to allow fear to take over my soul and lead to a health problem, a health challenge. You cannot afford to be sick right now. And that is why this is so important for you to, number one, subscribe to this channel and get all of the tips and the resources that I have to offer you about soul health, so that you can prevent it for yourself. And then you can pass this information on to your children if that applies, or you can share this with family members, because your health and well being, sweetheart, it's in your hands. And soul health is how it's the solution. Okay. So if any of this has been helpful to you, and if this is resonating with you, I would love to support you. Okay. I would love to support you with a one on one call. And you have nothing to lose because it's free. And so, if this is something that you would be open to learning more about, I want you to click the link in the description and come and join me for the I Deserve Joy strategy call, because that's what you deserve. Joy is medicine for the body. And if you don't know how to tap into your joy right now because of all the things that's happening in the world, you find yourself just feeling trapped by fear, then you definitely need Nurse Blue. Okay. That's fear is a virus, and I have the spiritual vaccine. Okay. Now, if you need some additional encouragement, you need a community, you need some additional resources, I have the perfect opportunity. This is perfect opportunity for you to come and check out the Soul Health and Wellness Club, which I designed for you so that you can come into a health and wellness community that is there to support you in learning more about soul health. And I host weekly wellness parties called Radical Self Love Parties on Wellness Wednesdays on this wonderful app called Clubhouse. So I'll post the link as well so that you can go and schedule your next party and be a part of this great experience. I mean, we're all here learning how to build, love, unite, and empower our souls back to health. So you don't have to worry about being by yourself anymore. I'll post all the information for you in the description so we can learn how to live with power, with love, and a sound mind. Because all of that is what having a healthy soul is about. Okay? All right. Can't wait to see you soon, guys. Bye bye.